Hello, hello. Today we're thrilled to have a very special guest, Vickie Poole. Vickie is a dynamic and inspiring transformational coach who empowers individuals to unlock their full potential. With a passion for helping others, she guides her clients through a journey of self-discovery, confidence building, and personal growth. Vickie's expertise lies in recognizing and harnessing the unique strengths and talents within each individual. She's not just a coach, she's a catalyst for change. Whether you're seeking to overcome limiting beliefs, breakthroughs, plateaus, or simply elevate your life, Vickie's insightful guidance can help you achieve those goals. Vickie, welcome to Happiness by Habit.
Ah, thank you for having me. And I love the title. I will say, I love the title.
Yes, thank you, thank you. Happiness by habit. Let's talk about habits that bring happiness to your life.
Yes, I have a habit of doing my affirmations and journal prompts every day. And
Uh-huh.
I have a Facebook group that I do that live every day, and it's one of the things that lights me up. And then I make sure I get outside so I can clear my thoughts as much as possible. And one of the habits that I'm really tweaking right now is eating healthier and moving my body more.
Oh, that's a good one. Very, I
Yeah.
love those habits, and I do follow your Facebook
Yes.
group. Yes. Tell us a little bit more about your personal journey and what inspired you to become a transformational coach, Vickie.
Well, I started my coaching journey as a health coach because I had been a yo-yo dieter my entire life. And I finally got to a place where I said, I've either got to make peace with being fat and be happy there, or I've got to do something different. And I was tired of all the diets. And so I tried to find something where I could actually change my habits. And I came across Health Coach Institute, which their motto was that they helped with habit change. And so instead of hiring a coach, I decided to become a coach. And then it just went from there because then I became a life coach, I became a master transformational coach. And then as I had been working in that aspect for a while, I felt like some of my clients all of my clients were doing great, but some of them would steal some of the habits would start popping back in. And so that's when I decided to become a hypnotist. And so I got 5 certifications in hypnosis, and it's been a game changer for me and all of my clients.
Wow, for sure. That's a very interesting topic. A lot of people, I'm sure, can relate to this situation where they're trying to lose the weight, but they might be successful for a couple of months and then back to original or more weight
Hmm.
than before. And this is very interesting because I was just listening to a podcast because I did myself just lost 22 pounds in the last 3 months. And I
Nice.
decided,
Congratulations.
thank you, super happy about that because I had this extra weight that I didn't need. It's been with me for the last, I don't know, I'm over possibly 10, 15, 20 years.
Hmm.
Uh, so I'm gonna make that change and I'm gonna go back to the body and to the way that is good for me, that is healthy. And I decided to call it not losing weight because when you lose something, you try
You
to
find it?
find it. Exactly. That was so funny when I learned that. But to
Yeah,
release the weight and
that's right.
those
That's
pounds
right.
have been released and I'm not taking those back
That's
anymore. This is my new
right.
normal.
That's what I tell my clients too. I say to ditch the scale. The scale is a liar anyway. So don't be a slave to the scale. And then to make sure that you're releasing the weight and the bad habits and all of those things that are holding you back instead of quitting them, losing them, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's definitely what I tell my clients.
Awesome, awesome. Can you tell us some success stories that you had with your clients, things that went right,
Yeah.
or the challenges that you had, and how did they overcome those challenges?
Yeah, beautiful. I have one client in particular that comes to mind, and she hired me because she wanted to lose weight. And so as we started working together, I discovered that her problem was not so much that she needed to lose weight, but that she didn't like herself no matter what her weight was. She was very
Oh.
unhappy. She couldn't even look in the mirror and say, I love you. She couldn't find anything pretty about her or beautiful about her at all. So I really worked a lot on let's forget about the weight and
Mhm.
let's start working on you, because no matter how what size you are, you've got to find a place that you're happy within. And I worked with her for a while, and to be honest with you, she didn't lose the weight in the beginning. She was busy getting more in touch with her body, learning what it felt like when she was hungry, when she was full, and all those things. And she ended up discovering that she was in a marriage that she hated, and that was part of the problem. So she, through her own discoveries as we were working together, she
Mhm.
decided that maybe she needed to do something different. So she um, removed the marriage. She started having a better relationship with her mother and with her daughter and with herself. And then the weight just started coming off.
Wow,
And
fascinating.
yeah, it's great, and I still keep in contact with her. It's been quite a while since we worked together, and I still keep in contact. And she will reach out every now and then if she feels like she just needs to have an ear to talk, and I will
Yeah.
reach out to make sure how she's doing, and she's doing very, very well. And so I've had clients that were about weight. I had one client in particular a year ago, I believe it was, and she's a very thin woman, so she wasn't really wanting to lose weight, but she had horrible, horrible um, compulsion to eat sugar, and she's a diabetic. So
Oh.
it was really detrimental to her health. So I worked
Mhm.
with her to release her cravings for sugar. And so she sent me a testimonial after we worked together. And she said, oh my gosh, she said, this is amazing. She said, it's Thanksgiving. They've got everything known to man, all the sweets in my office. And she said, and I've not had the inclination to pick up any of them. And she's perfectly happy with that. So it's, it is possible. And then and I've had other people that had nothing to do with food at all. I've worked with some people that were TED Talks, wanting to do a TED Talk, and they were not able to be confident going out on the stage. They had all these worries about whether they would forget their speech, whether they could, capture the audience and those kinds of things. And so I worked
Mhm.
with them on that. And so they were able to deliver their TED Talk, and it was amazing. And they were able to keep that slower pace and the pregnant pauses so that people were wanting to hear more. And I had one person that, and I love her story because she's actually a keynote speaker,
Mhm.
and she can speak on the stages to any crowd, but put her in a place where she's supposed to network with people, and she
Uh-huh.
would hide in the back and she would cringe and sweat when anybody spoke to her because it wasn't rehearsed. She didn't have anything written down on paper, and she would have to speak on the fly. And she wanted to be able to go to networking events and talk about herself and what she did and get more speaking gigs, right?
Mhm.
So I worked with her, and she not only went to the networking event to where she was excited to be there, because normally she was
Mhm.
cringing about even going. She was
Mhm.
excited to be there. She had conversations with people she did not know. She actually sat up front, and when they asked for a volunteer, she raised her hand and went up on the stage and
Wow.
talked on the fly, actually
Uh-huh.
even talked to the audience. And when she got off the stage, people were coming over saying that they loved what she did and they wanted to know how to work with her. And she said that one of the really cool things was because she always said that nobody wanted to talk to her. She didn't want to talk to anybody. Well, at this event, she was actually, people were high-fiving her as she was leaving. They were waving as she was driving off. And she said when she got in her car and cranked up the car, that the song that popped on the radio immediately was Girl, You're on Fire. So she
Oh,
called me
wow.
immediately and said, you will not believe the experience I just had. So that's just a few of of the cases that I've had. And so it's, there's a wide range of things that I help people with, but they all have amazing, amazing results. I've done stop smoking, and I've had 100% success rate with those where I think the one that's been the longest, she's been smoke free now for like 5 years and has never even just wanted to have another cigarette.
Mm.
And there are others, but she's the one that it's been the longest amount of time. Um, I'm trying to think, and I've had people like one in particular that she was in a big corporation. She worked for a big corporation and she did a lot of traveling. She loved her job. And then when COVID hit, all the traveling stopped. And that's when she realized that the thing she loved about the job was the traveling. It
Oh.
wasn't the job itself. And
Mm-hmm.
so then she's trying to figure out what she wants to do. So she reached out to me. We did some coaching, some hypnosis to help her kind of get in touch with inside what she really, really wanted to do. And she ended up retiring from that job, which was ultra stressful. And now she
Oh.
works with she got plenty of retirement from that company. So she doesn't have to worry about money, but she went and worked for a company. It's a charity. I can't even remember which one it is, but it lights her up. So it's
Oh,
like
that's
she got
beautiful.
to was able to leave that stressful job and then go and she found this one that she loved. So
The
it was
purpose
great.
of her life. Oh, that's
Yeah, yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
So you help them with different topics, but
Hmm.
mainly looking for some key skills like discipline, confidence, overcoming self-doubt. Let's talk a little
Yes.
bit about that. What are some common self-doubt patterns that people struggle with, and how can we overcome those?
The biggest self-doubt is just not being good enough.
Mm.
Um, and that comes from our childhood, that comes from different things that have happened to us as we've been growing up. One of the self-doubt things that people have is that they don't know enough.
Mm-hmm.
And so those people keep looking for next certification, the next class, the next class, the next thing, right? They're looking for
Yeah.
all the gold outside of themselves. And so one of the things that I do is I help them with a process of really sitting down and evaluating, when in their life did they feel them successful? Was there any time, whether it was when they were in high school or when they were in college, whatever it was, and we would start looking at the places in their life where they did feel that success, where they felt the confidence. And then I help them see that that confidence can be with them all the time. They just have to remember it. It's like they've forgotten. It's like amnesia of the confidence. And
Mm-hmm.
so I take them through a process to help them with that. And then with hypnosis, I help to kind of integrate that a little bit more. And then the not being good enough, I'm sorry, not knowing enough, I
Mm-hmm.
help them with finding the place inside themselves where they know what they know
Mm-hmm.
and they don't start looking for all the information outside. So that's one of the processes is to actually to close your eyes and take a few deep breaths and just really listen to your heart, to your body, your mind, and what am I lacking? Am I lacking anything? And usually it's a no. It's that I know in my heart what I can do and my knowledge. It's just I'm really afraid of what people are going to say, whether they believe that I have the knowledge. And so it's just helping them through hypnosis to take the body posture of confidence. One of the things that I talk about is, if you're at a mall or if I don't even know if there are any malls left anymore, but if you're somewhere where you can people watch, even the airport, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can watch people, you can usually tell from their body language whether they have confidence or not. People that don't have confidence are usually looking down, they have slumped shoulders, they may even be of a rounded back. They shuffle, they don't walk with purpose. And then you can see the people who do have confidence, they're standing up taller, they're looking forward, they don't always have a smile on their face, but they could, but they
Mm-hmm.
just have a stride about them that lets you know that they have confidence. And so one of the things that helps anybody is if they will just strike those poses, that posture. That so sometimes
Mm.
I'll tell them to do the
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 Wonder
the
Woman
Wonder Woman
pose.
pose,
Ah,
right?
yeah.
And then I'll give them a trigger. So um, if anytime there's going to walk through any doorway, it doesn't matter where it's at. It's in your bathroom, your bedroom, your kitchen, a restaurant, a store, anything. Every time you walk through a doorway, it's a reminder for your conscious mind, your subconscious mind to stand up straighter and take that posture of being confident. And just like when you have a smile on your face, you feel a little bit happier and it comes
Mhm.
across in your voice. The
Yeah,
posture does the same thing. Your
absolutely.
body, yeah, your body starts thinking, well, they must be confident. They're walking confident, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love it. Do you have any tips like that one that you can recommend for people to gain more confidence?
One of the things that I recommend too is like to do some journaling, and in the journal,
Mm,
you make a list of all the amazing attributes you have. And one way I recommend, and you know from being in part of my group, if
mm-hmm,
before you start journaling, you have everything written down on the paper what you want your journal to be about, and then you
mm-hmm,
just stop and calm down and go in total silence. And you sit calmly in silence for 10 to 15 minutes. And a lot of times, especially when the first you start doing this, your mind starts going with, you're wasting your time. You really need to go do that email. You need to go make that phone call. And your conscious mind will start telling you all these things to
mm-hmm,
do. And you just drop into listening to your breath, and then if the chatter starts back up, then I recommend you to listen to the sounds of your space wherever you are, whether it's you can hear the hum of your computer, or you can hear somebody outside mowing the lawn, or you can hear an animal in your house, or any noise that you hear, you label it. Like if my ceiling fan were on, I would say, well, that's the ceiling fan, right? That's the hum of my computer. And it's because you can't think two thoughts at the same time. So you're kind of bringing yourself back into that space of right here and right now.
mm-hmm,
And then you can get back into listening to your breath. And then when your timer goes off in 10 or 15 minutes, that's when your intuition, your inner guidance, your God voice, all of that is coming together to come through your hands. And when you start writing things on the paper, then that's when you get the gold, because it's not being judged and critiqued by the conscious mind as you're writing, right? And
mm-hmm,
then you take those things and then you pick one of those things and then you take action. And we only want to take inspired action. So you have to kind of look through it and see what feels like it's calling to me. And then you take action on that.
mm. I like that.
Is that helpful?
Very much so. Yeah, I like that. Let's talk a little bit about work-life balance.
Hmm.
How do you balance your professional and personal life? Because there is a tendency of staying busy and to work too much. What is that fine line where you need to stop what brings you stress and just dedicate that time to do what gives you happiness?
Well, to me, there is a work-life balance sometimes doesn't mean that you're 50-50. It means that you can decide whether right now in this time of your phase of your business, if you're an entrepreneur, maybe you're in the phase of the business where you've really got to push it a little bit more and you've got to
Mm-hmm,
add a little bit more time to it. It is looking at your life and figuring out where you need to put your time. And to be honest, most of the time we waste a whole bunch of time because we're just spinning our wheels. So if we can get in touch with what our actual vision is for our future, and the vision of what we want for our business life, what we want for our personal lives, our relationships, and then we really evaluate it down to, like, for this couple of months, I'm going to have to focus a little bit more on the business, and that's okay. And I'm going to spend less time wasting time and spend more time with my family. And then you evaluate, okay, I've got that worked out. Now I can spend more time on my family time, but I still have to do something with my business because that's my bread and butter, and that's the gifts I have to share with the world. I can't let the world down and all the people that are looking for me. So balance, like I said, it's not always like it's an even balance, but it's figuring out for you in the moment of your life
Mm-hmm.
what feels the best, what's going to support you the most, and then just go with it.
I love that. Yeah.
I love this quote. I've got so much to do today. I'm going to have to meditate for 2 hours instead of one. And
Mm-hmm.
you would think that that means you've got to be busier, right? But that also means that you got to take that time to nourish your soul and let your thoughts rise to the surface. And
Mm-hmm.
so to me, I guess part of the balance too is making sure that you're um, taking the time for yourself, not just everything else. And then
Mm-hmm.
on top of that, maybe it is not only that, but making sure that you are doing inspired action activities. Because if you're just working, then and it's not an inspired action, it's going to take you much longer to make something happen. So that's going to kind of put things a little bit out of balance because you could have done it so much simpler if you had just allowed the essence of yourself to find the inspiration or create the inspiration.
Yeah, 100%. Because when you do something you really love, it doesn't feel like working either. You're doing something that fulfills you, is your
Hmm.
purpose in life. So
Yeah, yeah.
yes, it
And
makes
that's
a
when
big
time kind of
difference.
stands still, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. What advice would you give to young women who aspire to be leaders and make impact in the world?
I would say tap into who you are. So it's knowing what your values are, because when
Mm-hmm.
you know what your values are, it's a lot easier to discern whether the things that you're talking about align with your personal values. But the thing that I love for the newer generation is they've been raised a lot different than a lot of us that are older, right? So they've been given a voice where they could speak up even at a younger age, where when I was a little girl, it was like you children are seen and not heard. You know, you weren't supposed to speak up. You were supposed to take whatever was given to you and not say anything. That was what you were taught. And the newer generation will speak up very boldly when something is not going right. And so although sometimes that can be in your face, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it is definitely something that can help you to go forward in life and really share your gifts and talents and just become a unique you. And so I think they've kind of got a little bit of a heads up from us. I think I really feel like this newer generation, it's not going to take them 50 years to get where they want to be, like it has for some of us. They're going to, because they've got a computer at their fingertips. They've got knowledge at their fingertips. Now there's AI that just helps you to do so much of your task so much easier. So I really feel like that all they have to do is just grab on and learn and find a good mentor that they look up to and just the shoot it to the moon.
Yeah, so true. Speaking about inspiration, is there any book or any person that has inspired you lately?
Well, my favorite book is by Michael Singer, and it's The Untethered Soul. And I love that book. It has so much information in there that has really been amazing to me and life changing. And as far as the most recent book, off the top of my head, I can't even remember. I just bought another book. I'm notorious. I've got books everywhere, right?
Me too.
I know. I got several bookshelves. But the beauty of having all these amazing books is I reread them and find new information that I didn't even notice
Mm.
before. But like I said, my favorite book is that I recommend to everybody is Michael Singer's
Mhm.
Untethered Soul. And he has several books. But if you want to learn a little bit about our inner voice, our inner dialogue, and how it plays out in life and triggers for the emotions and things that have had and why you do some of the things you do, it's beautiful.
Oh,
Have you
good
read it?
advice. No, I have not, but I will
Okay.
definitely
You
look it
definitely
up.
need to. And I will say, I have the written book, but I really love the audio version because
Oh,
whoever is doing the audio version, their voice is just so calming
oh,
and it
nice.
just, I love it.
Love audiobooks too. Perfect. All right, I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Okay, beautiful.
Uh, yes, Vicky, for the audience who would like to be in contact with you, can you please tell us a little bit about how to find you?
Yes. I always recommend people to join my Facebook group, the Stand Up and Stand Out community. And the way you get to it is you go to vickiepoole.com, VICKIEPOOLE.com, and then you're prompted to answer questions, and you have to answer the questions to be entered into the group. And then I have my podcast, Today's Dream, Tomorrow's Reality, and I'm on all the little platforms. And as far as programs that I have right now, I have one that I'm really having an amazing time with, and it's actually a monthly membership, and it's called Mining Your Acres of Diamonds. And it is all about, if you haven't heard or read the book, Acres of Diamonds, it's all about people who have sold their property to go look for diamonds somewhere else and then find out that the people that bought their property for almost nothing found the biggest diamond discovery of history. And so that person that sold it was looking for diamonds everywhere but where they were. And so that's what this group is about, is helping you discover your diamonds, your gold that you're sitting on right now that is inside you instead of constantly be trying to get something else from somewhere else, right? And anybody that wants to can reach out to me on Facebook personally as a DM or just join my group and you can connect with me there.
Wonderful. We'll make sure to add your social media links to the podcast. Well, thank you
Beautiful.
so much, Vicky. Today we explored the power of confidence, the importance of a positive mindset, and practical tips for personal growth. Vicky has shared invaluable insights on how to overcome self-doubt, embrace authenticity, and achieve work-life balance. I encourage you to take action and implement these tips in your own life. Remember, small steps can lead to big transformations. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Thank you so much again, Vicky, for joining us today and sharing your wisdom. And
Thank you.
remember, yeah, sure. Remember, happiness is a habit. By cultivating positive habits and embracing personal growth, you can create a life you love. Until next time, be happy.
Mwah.